Imagine that I came to you and I said, I will pay you $1 billion and I will give you unlimited time, 1 year, 10 years, whatever else it was, to perfectly juggle these apples on the first try. The rule is that as soon as you attempt to juggle it, that is your try. You do not get to practice juggling. You do not get to try to juggle these ahead of time. I want you to juggle them right now or at some point in the future. You can use the $1 billion to hire experts. You can focus on it. You can think about it hard. You can maybe train up your body in other things, lift weights, do whatever you want to do. Do hand-eye coordination of this, that, and the other thing. Might be able to read a book about how it's done, watch videos of how it's done. If you can juggle successfully, I'll pay you $1 billion. Very likely you will fail. Equally, if I were to ask you to make a viral video on your first try, you've never made videos before. And in order to practice, you cannot post any videos online. I might let you edit videos. I might let you make a movie over here and that kind of stuff. I might allow you to cut and edit and post and that kind of stuff, but it can't be viewed by anyone because that would be the potential for virality. Your first video ever seen by a human has to go viral. I'll pay you $1 billion if you can do that. You will probably fail. Another crazy example. In this moment, right now, I will pay you $1 billion if you can create a bodybuilding body. Flex and show me your physique. That would be absurd. You haven't gone to a gym in a while. There's no way that you could immediately show off and manifest that body, no matter how many videos you've seen or how hard you focus on it. Certain things you become good at by simply doing. When creating a product, when creating a video, when creating software, when doing a job, we presume that if we just have more time and resources to prepare, that it will somehow have a better result than simply doing it 50 times. It might, it could, you could have a better result, or you end up having a lackluster result. There's a story of a pottery teacher. Pottery teacher said to one class, your goal at the end of this class is to make the best pot you possibly can. To the next class, he said, your goal in this class is to make the most pots you can possibly make. By the end of the semester, the pot class that made the most pots made the best pot that was far better than anyone who was trying to make the best pot. Because the people who focused on making the best pot agonized over every single one, so that it took so long that they could never get the muscle memory to make the motions that they need. At Shopify, one of the largest companies in the world. In order for a piece of software to ship, it is required that that piece of software be built in under a week. You cannot deploy anything that you can't build in a week. If it takes you longer than a week, you delete everything and you start again. And then you can try to get it done in under a week again. And in fact, in some cases, it's even more stringent. If you can't build it in a day, you can't deploy it. If it takes a few days, you're not efficient enough because you haven't built up the knowledge of the problem, the knowledge of the situation, and the knowledge of where the efficiencies lie of how to build that as efficiently as possible. This applies to everything. It is always a default for people to think, if only I had more time and more resources, we could do this better. But that is almost never the case. It's not about time and resources, it's about expertise. Spielberg can make an Oscar-winning movie with an iPhone, but the rest of us, if we were given an IMAX camera, it wouldn't make any difference. It would still be a cruddy mom home video. So when trying to create something and do it really well, just get used to the fact that you're probably gonna have to do it a few hundred times and screw up fairly often until you finally get sort of good at it. And when you're sort of good at it, now you have a superpower, because when you know you can do it, you know you can do it again. As opposed to these big wins where you have to bet the farm and hope that it works, rather than simply saying, oh yeah, I'll bet I can juggle it there. I'll earn $10 a day juggling rather than $1 billion for maybe being able to juggle. So do that. This is why we put in the reps here at Slant 3D. This is why we focus on doing more of it rather than trying to build the perfect thing. You get something out the door. And now the next time you go after it, you'll know what slowed you down, what made that last one bad, and you can improve from there. So that very soon you will be able to make a movie with an iPhone. You'll have a great body because you went to the gym every single day and put a little bit more weight on. You can juggle a couple of apples because you dropped a whole bunch of others. And that is why it's so important to do it a lot. And don't try to find some perfect set of resources or perfect amount of time. It will never exist. And every project will always take exactly the amount of time that you give it. And very rarely will the quality increase. Have a great day, everybody.